United Kingdom has updated its travel alert for Bangladesh right now, stating, and I quote from the alert advisory here, terrorists are likely to carry out attacks there. Terror attacks could be indiscriminate, including in places visited by foreign nationals, which is crowded areas, religious buildings, political rallies. This is from UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, the FCDO, that has said in the advisory that's been updated. UK is advising its citizens to avoid travelling to certain areas in Bangladesh. So that's a big news. And remember that in the past few days, we have seen British members of Parliament who have spoken up in the floor of the House with regard to how there are targeted attacks happening in Bangladesh, and it must come to a halt, and they're asking for solidarity. And this is quite a historic moment in so many ways. However, for now, for those who may be wanting to visit Bangladesh, there's been a clear advisory to British citizens to know that there could be indiscriminate attacks. Indiscriminate basically also means it may not be specific, but it may be in crowded areas, religious buildings, political rallies. So be very cautious. And for now, with this UK government advisory that's come for its nationals, in case they want to or intend to go to Bangladesh. It's a travel alert that terrorists are going to carry out attacks. Remember, it's very concerning. It's not mincing words. The advisory states terrorists are likely to carry out attacks there. That could be indiscriminate in places which are crowded, especially places that are visited by foreign nationals. Now, is there a certain intelligence information that the United Kingdom government has with them right now about some upcoming possible planned or intended terror attacks, specifically in areas, whether there are foreign nationals or minority-dominated areas in Bangladesh? All right, so we'll be tracking that big news coming in, that from Bangladesh there has been an from UK government on Bangladesh, there has been an advisory of travel that there could be possible terror attacks coming in. I also want you to then listen in to the British members of Parliament. This is quite unprecedented, remember, that the British members of Parliament are over the past few days constantly speaking up for the Hindus in Bangladesh.
Many governments are condemning the violence and calling for peace and law and order to be restored. So I welcome the comments from the Minister, but I must emphasise that all efforts must be taken now. We have a religious leader who has now been arrested. We need to know effectively what is being done to secure his release, due process in particular, but at the same time, can the Minister give details of the government's engagement with the government on this particular matter? What discussions have taken place, and have we been robust in pursuing the right to protect life, the prevention of violence and persecution, and importantly, tolerance for religious belief? What efforts has the government undertaken to build upon the last government's work to promote freedom of religion and belief in Bangladesh? And can the Minister say what discussions are taking place with other international partners to help restore this kind of stability that we desperately need to see in Bangladesh?
The situation is clearly on a knife edge, and with such large diaspora populations in the UK and with large Hindu communities with strong links to the community in Bangladesh, I'd ask my honourable friend what more she can do to have discussions with the Bangladeshi government to ensure that, and with other partners in the region, to ensure that tensions are lowered, the rule of law put into effect, and calm and order restored.
Many constituents in Aylesbury have raised these concerns about the safety of Hindus in Bangladesh, and they've shown me extremely concerning social media content containing threats to Hindus to leave the country or face extermination. Does the Minister agree that this is unacceptable, and can the Minister outline what representations she has made to the Government of Bangladesh to ensure that those who are inciting and perpetrating this violence are held to account?
Joining me this morning on the First Up, India Today's Managing Editor Gaurav Sawant. Gaurav, good morning. Now, this is a travel advisory that has come in, but what I do find surprising is the mention that there could be terror attacks, Gaurav, that the foreign nationals need to be aware of. Possible, do they have some intelligence information, I believe?
The situation in Bangladesh does remain extremely grim. The fact that you have radical Islamist organizations like hifazat-e-islam and Jamaat-e-Islami that are virtually running the country, and the interim administrator of Bangladesh, Nobel laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus, is either unwilling or unable to check the radical Islamists is an indication that the situation is going from bad to worse in Bangladesh. And you're absolutely right. The British travel advisory is a cause for concern, especially in some of the pockets where violence, arson, vandalism is being reported. And that is why they're asking British nationals to be very cautious in these areas. And in case the situation does worsen, there is an apprehension that radical Islamists could carry out a terror attack in Bangladesh to ensure that their writ prevails. This issue has been raised in the British Parliament, it's been raised in India, it's been raised with Bangladesh, but sadly, even till late last night, mobs of radical Islamists were targeting Hindu homes in different parts of Bangladesh, and the administration, whether it's the police or the army, seem to be doing very little. They're either incapable or complicit in this, Pooja.
All right, Gaurav, thank you very much. For now, these are the details coming in. There's a travel advisory, and that it is concerning because it refers that this could actually turn much worse in the days to come.